Friend of the show, Bill Walton. I hadn't talked. I'd been able to text with an email with him ever since he got off. Ever since he's been doing the show. Right, we did the show back in 2020. Right, and he was a legitimate mentor and friend to me. I could email him, I could text him, and he'd get back to me about any questions or suggestions that he may have. Like, for example, right, I saw him on Dan Patrick one time talking about how he was just thinking about seeing his dad drive away in an ambulance and how that changed his life. And I had a similar instance in mine. Um, before my dad had to go to the ICU during COVID, in which I could only visit him for 5 minutes at a time, and then he died a week later. Um, but that's neither here nor there. But I told Bill about that, and Bill wrote me back, and he said, Bill, if you ever find yourself in times of trouble like that, first off, listen to the music play, and here are 4 songs that you can listen to. And if you find yourself in that situation again, they were 3 Jerry Garcia songs and Chimes of Freedom by Bob Dylan. And then he made it a point to say that there's many versions of Chimes of Freedom, and to find the one that speaks to you, right? So I went to Sphere on May 25th and 26th to 24, right? And 2 of the most phenomenal shows I'd ever seen in my life. Unreal. Best Black Peter I'd ever saw. The All Along the Watchtower solo that I was lucky enough to be on like the side rail for. I'd never been that close to the band. It's like you only get that angle if you're a crew member or family member, right? But it's Sphere, you can stand to the side, right? And I was right next to Jeff and John, and John did the best solo I've ever seen in my life when he did All Along the Watchtower. It truly blew my mind, because Memorial Day is kind of a heavy weekend for me anyways, because my dad is a Vietnam vet, and not one weekend did we not recognize Memorial Day and the reasoning behind it, or watch a Gary Sinise Memorial Day concert. So it was usually the worst weekend of the year. You could bet the house on that being the worst weekend of the year every year. So to get that a Watchtower, which is affiliated with kind of a lot of war anthems sometimes, if you want, some people do, like the Jimmy version at least. And so to get that was just fucking magical, dude, right? So I'm staying in the Palazzo Hotel in Las Vegas, right? It's great. Sunday show ends, bows. I'm waking up the next morning. I'm still, in full concert mode from the night before. And I look at my phone and I say, what's going on? Let's see if I have any messages. Oh, I open up my phone. First thing I see is a Instagram post from Adrian Wojnarowski, Woj, saying that Bill Walton has passed away from cancer at the age of 70. I didn't know what to say, dude. It was like, it deflated me. And it was such a wild scenario too. It's like, I was in the Palazzo Hotel in Las Vegas, right? So right after I'd seen Dead & Co. for what would be the last time I'd ever seen them, right? And so what else could I do at that point but get in my elevator that was across the hall, go down to where the Dead Forever exhibit was, right? Which was like which was a 20,000 square foot exhibit full of a photo show, full of memorabilia. They had a movie theater set up where you could watch Cornell 23. They had all types of different stuff up there where you could just hang out. So I went to the Dead Forever exhibit. That's literally where I could immediately go to, and digested that news while staring at Mickey Hart's art paintings, which was also at the exhibit. Mickey Hart, percussionist for the Grateful Dead and Dead & Company, was best friends with Bill Walton. So that's how I digested the news. And that fucking rocked me, man. Because, like, I don't know, there's not too many people I'll reach out to stuff like that, or people who have had that big of an impact on me personally, or that I feel that I'm that indebted to. He never had to do my fucking podcast, but he did it, and he helped mentor me, man, and that's fucking beyond priceless to me, and that killed me, right?